The best beginner boudoir photography camera. Say that one time fast. Do you like wasting thousands of dollars on equipment that you're probably never even going to use? Yeah, I didn't think so. So if you're new to boudoir photography and you are looking to buy a camera, then I can help. I'm going to give you my 5 tips to help you find the perfect setup for you. And the last one is a game changer. Like seriously, it's going to take all the stress out of this entire experience. Well, I plan to take a lot of the stress out of the experience for you. This one is totally going to remove whatever is left over. So you are not going to want to skip out before the end. Hello, my name is Mike Lloyd. I am a professional photographer and I have shot with many cameras over the years. And when I first got started, I had no idea what the heck I was doing, what I needed. My very first shoot I did with a Sony Cybershot. This was back in, like 2007, 2008. It was a little point and shoot camera and it had a neat touch screen. And I knew that some buttons made photos darker and some buttons made them lighter. That was the extent of my knowledge. And I photographed a friend of mine and the photos I thought looked pretty cool. I went to get them printed. And I asked the guy at the camera shop, hey, what do I need to do on here in order to get this sort of look or this sort of look? And I had taken a few pictures of the moon specifically. And he's like, well, you're never going to get it with this camera. Here's what you need to buy instead. I ended up buying my first DSLR that day. And I think I'm on like my 6th professional camera now. And I've learned so much along the way. And I'm going to help you take all that guesswork, all that learning experience out of it so you can get the right setup for you the first time, especially if you're a beginner, because you haven't made all the mistakes that I have yet. All right, so number 1, what is your budget? Number 2, consider the other gear you're going to need. Number 3, what space are you going to shoot in? Number 4, check out the second newest version of the cameras that are out at this time. And number 5, try before you buy. I'm going to tell you how to test drive anything that you want. All right, so firstly, what is your budget? This one's a big one because obviously if we all just had hundreds of thousands of dollars to spend, you wouldn't be watching this video. You just go buy a ton of stuff and figure out what works from there. But we all don't have an infinite sum of money to spend, so setting your budget. Let's be realistic though. If your budget is like $400, it's going to be real tough to get anything that you're going to want to use. At that point, you might as well just use your smartphone. Seriously, because you're going to need to buy a camera, you need batteries, you need memory cards, a card reader, you're going to need lenses. And I don't know how you're going to get anything reasonable for under maybe even like $750 to $1,000 if you want to start shooting legitimate boudoir. Now, again, you don't need to buy the most top of the line, fanciest thing out there. But if you're going to get something in like the $500 to $700 range, again, you might as well just use your smartphone because the smartphones are pretty good. So make sure you have at least enough money to spend on some gear. Now, you can put things on a credit card. Or companies like Best Buy have no interest financing for, 1, 2, 3 years, whatever, on their products. So that could be a good way to go for you. I know other products or other companies do as well. I think Adorama and B&H will both let you split up payments. There's different ways that you can get the gear without having to pay for everything all at once or without paying a ton in interest. So those may be options for you to consider as well, but I would err on the side of getting something a little bit nicer than you think you might want, because then you're not going to have to replace it as soon once you start getting really good. So this leads us into point number 2. Consider the other gear that you're going to need. Do you already own a camera? If so, can you reuse those memory cards or the batteries? Now, different cameras use different kinds of memory cards. Like my mirrorless camera I'm filming on now uses an XQD memory card. They're, $100 to $200 a piece, depending on whether I want 32 or 64 gigs. You think, well, 64 or 32 gigs, that's a lot of space. Yeah, but cameras these days take ginormous photos, and you're going to be shooting in RAW, not JPEG. That's a whole different conversation, but you're going to have large image files. So you need big memory cards, and not every camera can use a compact flash or an SD card. So make sure you consider the other gear that maybe you already have. So that could make it easier to do the transition. If you already have some Canon lenses, buying a nicer camera body would be a good thing because then you can just reuse the lenses you had before. Now, when you switch from DSLR to mirrorless, you can get adapters for those lenses. That's something to look into as well. That'll save you some money. But if you are totally going from scratch here, like I have nothing, I need to buy all of it together, then you're going to need a camera, you're going to need lenses, or at least one lens. You're going to need a memory card and a battery. I always prefer to have 2 memory cards and 2 batteries because you never know if something bad happens at a shoot. Maybe you forget to charge a battery or your memory card is corrupt and you can't use it at the shoot. You never know what's going to happen. Now, I don't have 2 camera bodies and I don't have 2 of every lens that I have. Knock on wood, I haven't needed that yet, but I always carry extra batteries and memory cards. You can buy those later, but it's something to consider. So if your overall budget limits you to a certain dollar amount, consider gear that will all fit into that. Picking out lenses, you don't need a lens that goes from 16 to 5,000 millimeters because you're just never going to be in spaces where you need that sort of range. Also, the more a lens does, the worse it's going to be at all of those things. So if you get a 50 millimeter prime or a 35 or an 85, those photos are going to be super sharp. They're going to be great in low light. But when you start to get into zoom lenses that cover a wide range of focal lengths, they're not going to be as good in low light. The apertures won't open up as far, and they won't be as sharp. Guaranteed. They'll still be good, but they won't be as good. So that's something to consider as well. And that's going to lead us into point number 3. What space are you going to be shooting in? Now, you might think, well, what if I want to be really far away? What if I want to be really up close? I don't know what kind of lenses I should be getting or what kind of camera body I should get. And I know I haven't given you like a make and model to buy yet because we don't have enough information first. So we want to know all the variables before we actually can pick out the camera and lenses that fit our needs. So the space is important because if you're in a small space and you pick a crop sensor camera, then you're going to need to shoot on a really wide angle lens. That means you're going to get wide angle distortion. If you have no idea what I'm talking about right now, there are other videos out that can explain those. What wide angle distortion is. But basically, the center of the image is going to look in proportion. And as you work your way toward the outside, things get stretched. Think of a fisheye lens. Same sort of thing. And when you're photographing your clients, this could be a good thing, but it can also be a really bad thing if you're shooting super wide angle. Full frame cameras or mirrorless cameras are great for this because your same lenses will allow you to shoot in smaller spaces. Again, there are other videos that explain effective focal length and how image sensors affect your focal length. So check those out if you're not sure what I mean. But generally, if you are going to be in a smaller space, like most studios, you're going to want a full frame camera, which is any, higher end DSLR or a mirrorless camera. But as soon as you get into a crop sensor, and, when you go into your camera store to make this purchase, you can specify, hey, I don't want a crop sensor. What are the other options you have in stock? I need full frame. I need a 35 millimeter sensor. They can help you make that decision from there. If you're going to be in a huge warehouse space or, shooting with a ton of room, and by a ton of room, I mean you can stand 30 feet away, even 20, 25 feet away from your client, then the crop sensor is probably going to be fine, but it also will not perform as well in low light. So that's something else to consider. I also prefer to shoot mirrorless, so those are going to be full frame. And the reason I love mirrorless cameras is because of the autofocus. The entire area that you can see can be a point of focus, whereas DSLR cameras, you have to choose one specific focal point and then, adjust that based on your shot, which can slow you down. Also, when you're holding the camera up to your face, you're not making eye contact with your subject, and breaking rapport will change the flow of the image. Obviously, people have been doing that for a long, long time, and it's fine. We've gotten by without it. But since switching over to mirrorless, it's been a total game changer because I don't have to break eye contact with my client. I can look at my screen, it'll focus on their eyeballs or wherever I tell it to, and then I can just interact with my client to get the reaction I want and take the photo, knowing it's going to be razor sharp focus. So that's something to consider as well. So based on your space, if you're in a really small area, you definitely want to go full frame. And if you're going to be in a larger area, you have the option to go crop sensor. But either way, you're going to get way better image quality going full frame. All right, point number 4, explore the second newest models of things that are out. Camera technology has just exploded leaps and bounds over the last few years. Cameras are so good, especially compared to where they were, 5-10 years ago. I mean, when I bought my Canon 5D Mark III, that thing was just mind-blowing at the time. And now that I shoot on a Nikon mirrorless, I feel like I was using a caveman club compared to my, surgeon's precision tool. Obviously, the 5D3 is still a fantastic camera, but the capabilities of the mirrorless are fantastic. Also, mirrorless cameras are smaller and they're lighter weight. So I was having shoulder problems from holding heavier cameras with bigger lenses. Now I have an easier time holding smaller cameras and smaller lenses. So if you want to be shooting all day and maybe you're not a bodybuilder, then this would be something to consider as well. Has nothing to do with the make and model, but just saying, if the newest version of a camera is available, jump back one version, because that technology is still going to be really, really good. And it's going to be a lot cheaper than buying the newest, latest, greatest. It's like when you go to buy a car. If you go in September, it's 2022 right now, and it's September. So the 2023 models are about to start coming out. As soon as those hit the lot, they're going to discount the 2022 models to get the old stuff out of there to make room for the next wave of cars. Same thing with camera technology. So as soon as the 7D Mark II comes out, go back and buy the 7D or whatever the camera may be. Also a great opportunity to get things used. Huge advocate for buying used camera equipment. As long as you can check it out first and make sure it's clean and it doesn't have a ton of miles. And by miles, I mean shutter actuations, which doesn't matter on a mirrorless camera like it does on a DSLR, but you don't want something that's been doing African safaris for 5 years. It's got a little wear and tear that you just don't want to have to deal with. All right, number 5, the thing I told you is going to just eliminate all the rest of the stress from making this purchasing equipment. Because you'll notice so far, I haven't given you a make and model to go purchase because I don't know what your needs are. I don't know what your budget is. I don't know if you're willing to finance this. I don't know what kind of space you shoot in, or if you're making, a platform switch from Canon to Nikon or to Sony, or if you already have gear, or if you're starting from scratch. So once you've identified all those things, that will help you make a more informed decision. But you can go rent the gear and try it before you make a purchasing decision. And you can often apply your rental fee toward the purchase of whatever you buy. So in my camera shop nearby, I went down and I rented a couple different lenses, not sure if I would even need them during my photo shoots. And I decided I liked one of them. So they ended up applying both my rental fees to the purchase of a new lens. That way I didn't have to go buy it and then hope that I could return it later, because companies like Best Buy will take returns, but they charge you a 10% restocking fee because they don't want people using their return policy as a rental service, essentially. But if your local camera shop doesn't offer rentals, there are companies like borrowlenses.com. Fantastic company, allows you to test drive equipment. But again, check with your local camera shop. And if not, borrowlenses.com is a great option, because you're like, well, Mike shoots on the Nikon Z7. Is that going to be a good one for me? It's a couple years old. I don't know. Should I get a better one? Should I get an older one? Well, go into Borrow Lenses, rent a Z7, get yourself a memory card, a battery, and a 35 millimeter lens, because I shoot most of my boudoir sessions with a 35 millimeter prime. And try them out. It might cost you, I don't know, $150 for like a week's rental or something like that. I don't know what their prices are. They're very inexpensive for what it is. And then you might be able to apply that towards purchasing from Borrow Lenses as well. But your local camera shop will most likely allow you to apply that rental fee toward purchasing your gear. So it's not money wasted. You're just starting to pay for your equipment a little bit early as you learn what works for you. So again, this is a great way to find out, can I get away with a crop sensor? Should I get a full frame? Do I need a 35 millimeter lens, or do I need like a 24 to 70? It really depends on what your space is like, what your budget is, and what makes the most sense for you. So I've got a great article on the Boudoir Guild all about the setup that I use. It's a Nikon Z7. And like I said, I basically just use my 35mm prime. And then sometimes I switch to my 70 to 200. This is for the close-up detail shots. You know, if my client has really intricate beadwork or lace on their bra, I'm not going to get in there with my camera and shoot from right up in their business. I'm going to step back, put a zoom lens on, and then I can zoom in on all those detail shots. That way, you know, again, it's just better for everyone. But I didn't know if I was going to get my money's worth, so I rented that lens for a few different sessions, found out, okay, I got good shots. My clients bought all of those shots. Totally worth it, and I bought that lens. So I practice what I preach. This isn't just theory. I do all of these things that I'm telling you. So again, post down in the comments if you're not sure what to buy. Check out the 5 things that I told you. Consider your budget. Do you already have a camera? Is there other equipment to consider? 3, what is the size of the shoot space you're in? 4, check out the second newest model of whatever might work best for you. And then 5, try before you buy. So post down in the comments below if, points 1, 2, and 3, if you've got that information, you're still not sure, I can give you recommendations. But again, Nikon doesn't pay me to say this, but I love my Z7. It is a fantastic camera. Now, Nikon makes great mirrorless, so does Sony. I just really like the Nikons because that's what I use, and I've had 0 issues, razor sharp photos. It's been great. So if you have other questions about purchasing gear, again, post them down below in the comments. I am happy to help. And then if you want to learn how to make money with your camera so you can start paying for all of this stuff, then I've got other killer videos on this channel about getting new clients, what to charge, all of that good stuff. And I can walk you through step-by-step at theboudoirguild.com on how to generate multiple 6 figures in your business. Even if you've never done this before, I'll teach you the foundations of business and how I do exactly what I do in my own company to bring in that much revenue. So swing on over there if you'd like to know how to do it. You are amazing. We'll see you inside.